Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 5 different platforms. Catch up on all those over there. Head to the website, switchedtolinux.com, for the latest live links. Of course, /live will get you whatever the latest show is, if there's one that day. Get you all the links and information to that. So with that, guys, this is the business and the Sillyville edition. So let's go ahead and jump right on into the news. First up, Susan is stepping down from YouTube. I mean, it's like, we'll have to come up with a new word. I mean, Susan bait is no longer going to be there. Of course, if you do not know of the deep connection that Susan has, Susan's not just some lady. You know that Google was started in Susan's garage? The two guys that built Google built it in their garage. Susan is on the board of 23andMe. She is, I believe, married to the founder of 23andMe, which is why you do not want to be giving your DNA to those guys. She is tied into all of these corporate Google stuff at the same time. So Susan is stepping down from YouTube. I think she was the first CEO since Google took over YouTube, and she has basically booted me off the platform several times for, preaching the truth during the middle of the koofies, for talking about open source media applications that are actually available for download on the Google Play Store. So you can download it from the Google Play Store onto your Google devices. You're just not allowed to do a tutorial about how to make it work. Just wrap your head around that one. That's what they keep on community striking me for. And a few other things like, the dreaded H word. Which, I mean, I can't even mention here, but, it's a new application in Linux Mint, and it's the dreaded H word. Now, you might be like, yeah, Susan's out, baby. No. This is the crazy clown world. And when crazy clown world happens and somebody bad leaves, it just means that somebody worse is willing to step in. So YouTube's chief product officer, Neil Mohan, is set to replace Wazinski. So who is this guy? Well, he's the guy who created YouTube Music, YouTube Shorts, and two other things, all of which were abominable. So basically every aspect, YouTube Premium, every aspect of YouTube that's kind of like crazy, this guy created. This is also the guy that testified before Congress to try to create or basically tried to make free speech on the internet illegal. That is the guy that is now taking control of YouTube. So some people might be like, Susan's out, baby. Oh, no. A worse guy is stepping into place. This is a guy who actually does not believe in free speech, is stepping into place as the CEO of YouTube. So beware of that. Of course, if you're not following us over on Odyssey, Rumble, or BitChute, might be a good time to head on over there. But hey, we'll tarry as long as we can, and we do walk the straight and narrow. I do actually read these policies, and I actually intentionally do not break them. I like doing things on YouTube because, frankly, it's a big audience and people need to hear the message that we have to say. So I'm not intentionally going to go out there and try and get myself booted off the platform. And hey, as long as, we're going on about a month after I got let out of YouTube Pro, so we might actually set up channel memberships. Wouldn't that be cool? Would you guys do channel memberships? Of course, I have locals and Patreon and other places as well, but just for whatever you want to do. Anyway, moving on. Verified Flatpaks are coming. So this did also already raise a few red flags. Flatpak apps have now a verified badge icon. Now, the problem is that to get this, what you must do is you just have to log into the Flatpak repository, beta.flathub.org, and then you have to link it with your GitHub or GitLab account, and then linking their app, and then head to your developer profile. Now, the problem is they found unofficial clients for things like WhatsApp that had gained verified status. So we're kind of running into a very similar thing that we saw with Snaps, where you had all these and Snaps like, oh, we vetted all these things. Well, no, they don't actually vet the applications. They just vet the users, and then multiple really bad quality of the same apps show up on Snap, and it's really hard to distinguish one for the other. So there is a official verification coming, but it doesn't verify if you're actually the owner of the code. It just verifies that you're the owner of the GitHub profile that's pushing that code. So raises some issues. I'm not a huge fan of these whole things. Of course, I just updated my Endeavor system, and once again, it completely killed some of my Flatpaks. So I had to get rid of some Flatpaks, move to things in the repository, which is generally the direction I go. I don't like using Flatpaks. I think I install Flatpaks if I want to test something without messing with some of my core system files. That's about it. But for the most part, I find that utilizing repository software is infinitely better than using Flatpaks, snaps, app images, things like that. But verification is coming, and we'll keep an eye on what that means for Linux distros down the road. I would have done this as a chief article for this, but of course we had Windows deleting stuff, so we had to go there instead. All right, so of course the new New York's right to repair bill was perfectly fine when it passed the both houses in New York with an overwhelming bipartisan support, and then the lunatic Hochul basically had it rewritten by the entirety of the big tech lobby, and then she ended up signing her signature on that crap. Now, this actually still has to pass through a Senate muster, but it probably is going to, because they're like, oh, we don't care anymore. And so this article here from the Grist actually goes into all the detail, looking at what all is going on here. So, of course, the bill as it was originally presented and passed both houses was really good, but then Hochul, rather than signing something that passed with an overwhelming bipartisan support, she decided to sit on it for as long as conceivably possible until it raised concerns. Well, it turns out that what she was doing while all that was going on is she was working with the lobby group TechNet, which is a trade association for Apple, Google, Samsung, HP, among other members, and TechNet basically took the bill, rewrote large swaths of it, and then that completely rewritten bill by the lobbyists ended up being the one that she finally signed. So if you are in New York, you need to urge your senators to not vote for the new one and tell her to put the old one back. This is a crazy, unhinged lunatic in charge of New York right now. That is basically writing out. So the basic summary of it, what they did. First, of course, they eliminated the ability for a business. So any business-to-business computer equipment did not fall under the right to repair bill. So that was the first thing they did. The second thing they did is that they said, well, for the safety of the end user, we can package a bunch of stuff together instead of just utilizing, single things. So instead of, okay, my screen is broken, I need to pay $15 for a new screen to install it, they could now say, well, you can't just do the screen. You have to do the screen and the digitizer and the battery all as one unit, which will jack up the price and make it not worth repairing your old device. And that's really what they did. Of course, they also eliminated the ability to release board schematics, which is something that was in the original bill. So basically, the entire bill was completely rewritten by the tech lobby, and that ended up being the bill that she signed. So if you're in New York, you need to make a massive stink with your senators, particularly because I believe this still has to pass through them one more time because there were significant changes. So if they do not pass it, then it goes back to an older version. So that's something that you might still be able to do to fight for it if you have enough muster left in you to fight against your overlords. Oh, some Microsoft stories to end up the business section. Isn't this great? First, using Windows 10 at work will soon end for some users. This deals with the enterprise version of Windows 10 20H2, which is the enterprise system used by several businesses, schools, hospitals, things like that. They're basically ending all support for it in, when was it? In May 9th. So you have a couple months left. And so there's no more Windows 10 for those services after this. So this is just part of Microsoft's big push to push everybody on the really crappy Windows 11. All you enterprise groups out there, please switch to Linux. You got 3 months to figure it out. Do it. And then go stick it to Microsoft and say no. So, but they are going to end it. Of course, it doesn't immediately stop working. It just means there's no more security updates. So all you guys, you know, the IoT enterprise versions, the education enterprise versions, all these big ones, you know, the ransomware targets, no longer getting security updates. All right. Sounds great. Let's carry on, brothers, carry on. All right. And so they're going to be using this basically to push more people to Windows 11, creating more e-waste by failing to upgrade perfectly fine computers because, of course, our last article of the day, but this is Microsoft is now forcibly removing software from your computer. Of course, it is forcibly removing Internet Explorer. So, of course, with Internet Explorer, and nobody's using it anyway. Nobody should be using it anyway. It's still on many systems simply because a lot of particularly government contracts required a component that only Microsoft Internet Explorer had in it. And at this point in time, it's like, all right, we're done. So as of now, Microsoft is forcibly removing Internet Explorer from Windows 10 computers. Of course, it was never installed on Windows 11, so those people don't have to deal with it. But here's the question, right? If they can start simply removing this, can they start simply removing other things as well? Well, the answer is yes, in fact. They can, and they have in the past. A lot of people lost software and, from the Windows 7 to Windows 10 conversion. A lot of people lost files when Windows says, I don't think that's supposed to be on this computer. Let's delete it. So this is just them up to their old tricks again. How long before they start uninstalling other things? Like, you have a specific version of Firefox in your system because you need it for some application. Like, this thing's old. Let's uninstall that. You have an old version of Microsoft Office. Maybe there was a reason Microsoft pushed a little update just to count how many old versions. Gotta delete that thing. You got to buy the new version, you pleb. So Microsoft is up to these good things. This is why I like Linux, where, I have a little bit more control. If you want to help support the channel, we do have affiliates today. We are highlighting A2 Hosting. If you need a website, A2 Hosting is one of the good companies you could go to. They are not owned by the EIG conglomerate that provides horrible customer service. So that's actually good. You can jump on over here. You can get the $3 a month for the introductory price over there. I forget what it is afterwards. I do not do WordPress hosting, never do WordPress hosting, just get a standard shared hosting and manage everything yourself. WordPress hosting is a sham. They do have VPS hosting, they do have dedicated hosting, so you have a lot of different options over there. So A2 Hosting hosted a lot of my clients' websites over the years. We still are using it with a few of the clients, but you can check them out, tlm.li/A2H. That'll help support the channel. And now, guys, let's head on over to Sillyville, everyone's favorite place to go. The city of Oakland issues a local state of emergency after a ransomware attack. So isn't it funny? Over there, what's going on down in Ohio right now is the government is actually rejecting their state of emergency down there. Literally, the government is saying there's no state of emergency down there. Yet the city of Oakland gets a state of emergency for a ransomware attack. Okay. Poisonous chemicals burnt off, polluting the entire area in a multi-state region. Deal with it, guys. You can drink the water. Oakland. Computer breach. State of emergency. What the hell? To be fair, one of them is a local, the other one was federal, but, nevertheless, you'd still think that a chemical spill in Ohio might merit a little government response. Oh, no. We got to save our government response for the state of emergency in Oakland because our computer service was hacked. Great. It was an undisclosed ransomware attack. They took down a lot of their basic services. So, of course, like everything else, the computer stopped working. We've forgotten how to do everything. Like, just bring in the old guys you forced into retirement. Let them show you how to manage the city without a computer. There you go. This one's just glorious, guys. We got to hear some Kamala Harris, of course, praising the benefits of electric vehicles because you can charge your phone using a USB outlet. You can't make this crap up.
No exhaust, no diesel smell. The bus has Wi-Fi and even USB outlets next to every seat. I mean, come on, imagine. You can charge your phone on your way home from work. That's good stuff.
She's demented. That's right. Of course, no exhaust. They're just, charged up a previous time with coal plants, or if you're in New Jersey, aborted fetuses. That actually did happen. There is actually a power plant that runs on human biological waste, which is fed into by Planned Parenthood, just so you know. But that is what is powering things in that area. Most places it's coal, natural gas. It's certainly not being charged by clean green energy, that's for sure. Now, if you ever wondered, what in the world is going on with Kamala Harris, like with all of these, just all of the things that she is, like, where does she come up with her speeches? Well, the answer was actually found on Babylon Bee, of course. So if you want to find this one, it is a longer video, so we can't show the whole thing. But it is a glorious piece of amazingness. And so there you go. Here is Meet Kamala Harris, a 6-year-old speechwriter from the Babylon Bee. Of course, if you're not familiar with Babylon Bee, it is a satire channel, but it makes perfect sense. We'll just do a couple clips from this because it's glorious.
Hi, I'm Oliver Bartholomew, and I'm 16 and a half years old, and I'm the speechwriter for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. All right.
The writing is fun. So I made writing words my job. Every politics person has a writer, like me, to make good words for them to say.
Space is exciting. Space, it affects us all. And it connects us all.
I got that idea when I was thinking about space and how big it is. Man, it's big.
You gotta watch that video. That is glorious. It was one of the best things Babylon Bee has ever done. But yeah, Kamala Harris is a 6-year-old speechwriter, Oliver Bartholomew. So definitely matches Kamala Harris's speech pattern. They actually have a number of those clips throughout here as well. Here's another one. What we'll do another one.
It'd be neat if Kamala talked about the school bus. And who doesn't love a yellow school bus, right?
Who doesn't love a yellow school bus, right? Can you raise your hand if you love a yellow school bus, right?
I can't take all the credit, though. Me and Mr. Kamala are a team.
You know, like relay racing? You race and...
You gotta go check that one out. That's glorious. So, I'll go ahead for you guys over here on the Tubies. I'll go ahead and post that in there for you. So there's that. Of course, on to our last story today. Windows 11 system requirements not met watermark is now rolling out. So if you have a Windows 11 system that Windows determines that you doesn't meet the system requirements, you're going to get a permanent watermark down there. System requirements not met. Some people are complaining that they bought the computer with Windows 11. This guy says, I'm running Windows 10 22H2 processor with a Core i7 6500U CPU. Windows minimum requirements states the laptop is not eligible for the update. Your system must have one or more cores. It's an i7. It's got a lot of cores. Okay. This guy says, I bought my PC with Windows 11 pre-installed. It has worked fine. As of today, I received system requirements are not met. Go to settings to learn more. So my PC is incompatible with Windows 11 now. So yeah, Windows 11, this is glorious, guys. You just got to switch to Linux, guys. Unless you love this divine comedy. In which case, sure, why not just stick with that? Well, if you want to help support the channel, we do have a Patreon page, patreon.com/TOMM. Jump on over there. That will help support the channel over there. And, of course, we do have a new Tinfoil Hat Time article over there that will be used for the next Tinfoil Hat Time video. You can jump on over there. All the supporters of all the tiers can see that. That, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.